Today, I'm going to show you how to turn this using your phone. How can we do this? So this is what you will need. You will need a breakout board, $5, an ESP32 board, a BLDC motor controller, a BLDC motor, by far the most expensive one, jumper cable, where they can be cheaper, but around $5 is good enough budget. All up, it's gonna cost you around about $100. Now, these are more like investments. Computer, USB-C cable to be able to program this thing. So, we have the motor here, we have the ESP, and then we have the BLDC controller, which is this little thing. And then of course, this here is for the ESP32. This is so that I don't have to do any soldering. Alright, it's in there. And then when it comes to this, so all I have done here is these wires, we got to connect to this pin here. So instead of doing any soldering, I found termination block and then just connected this other end to it that comes with this thing. And then yeah, I can just plug it in there like that. Just like that. So now I've established connection between the power that powers the sensors in here and the little, so inside here we have Hall effect sensors, and the controller, the BLDC controller, needs to know exactly where the rotor is at any given time. Every time it spins, it needs to know exactly where that rotor is, and it does know that by understanding what's actually being communicated through these wires. Now, you look at this, you think there is a lot of wires, but there isn't really. So 2 of these wires, it's just power. And then 3 of them, it is just Hall effect sensors. All they're doing, every time this spins around, there is a Hall effect sensor that fires off a signal saying that, hey, this rotor is at this position, it's at this position, it's at that position, it's at this position. That's all that is happening. There is 3 Hall effect sensors, and each time they fire, and that's the result of it. The controller takes in that signal and knows exactly which coil to power by powering this thing. So basically, one will say DC to AC power converter, basically. So DC voltage comes in, and then AC comes out, which powers different coils of this thing. And that's it. That's all there is to this. Next up, you need a code editor. In this case, I like using VS Code. I've used it since the dawn of time. Don't let any of this intimidate you. This, basically, it was written by codecs. So I told it how I have wired it and what I wanted the interface to do. And yeah, this is basically the interaction that I had with it. I went through it, made sure everything made some sense, and then uploaded it to the ESP32. And before you know it, it worked. First time, by the way, which is crazy. I cannot say the same thing for myself, you know. This here is the real test. So let's see. Haha. Nice. I can remotely control it, look. I can stop it. I can run it. I can stop it. See? Remote control. That's pretty cool, isn't it? You can remotely control. So what's happening? I press this button. And then what happens? Because this phone is connected to the ESP32 through its wireless network, and the ESP32 has its own little server that we created using the VS Code. So we created the server, and then we created like a little UI so that we can interact with the different commands that are required to communicate to the controller. And then just like that, through the UI, I talk to the server, the ESP32 responds because of the different, signals, and then the ESP32 begins to communicate to the controller, And because I'm controlling the controller controls the motor, and that's why you see this thing spinning. Okay, I can obviously increase the speed. I feel like it should be smoother than that. Anyway, voila! And then set and stop. This is not recommended, but let's go. Alright. Oh! Okay. Enough fun. Alright, that's it. That's it.